speed. Fuel TV. FoxSports.com. Fox Soccer. FSN. And Fox Sports, the greatest collection of sports properties in the world.
We are Fox Sports!
As baseball's second half continues, anything can happen. Passion drives this game. You just gotta believe. Coming up on Fox, we got the best team in baseball. The first-place Phillies look to flex their muscles against the visiting Padres. But Atlanta's hot on their heels in the NL East. Today, the Braves battle the Reds. We're looking to make a run in the wide-open Central. And it's an AL Central showdown in Minnesota as the Tigers take on the Twins. The summer heats up, so does all the action. On Fox Saturday Baseball.
Welcome to the AT&T pregame show on Fox. AT&T Rethink Possible. Record-setting temperatures have gripped the East Coast, including the home of baseball's best. The Phillies are as red hot as the temperatures when they take on the Padres, looking for their 9th straight win against San Diego. The Pods' 3-time All-Star closer Heath Bell is moving and shaking right there. But the big question, will he be on the move by the trade deadline? Meanwhile, Chase Utley playing much better these days. He has reached base in 24 consecutive games. Hi, everybody, and welcome to steamy Philadelphia for another live edition of Fox Saturday Baseball. I am Chris Rose. In just a few minutes, some of you are going to stay right here to see if the Padres can slow down those red-hot Phillies, who lead the NL East by 4 games. The team that's chasing the Phillies are also on Fox Saturday Baseball. That would be the Atlanta Braves, down in Cincy this afternoon. Brian McCann homered in the Braves series opening win last night to send Joey Votto and the Reds to their 4th loss in the last 6 games. The rest of you will see if Miguel Cabrera and the first-place Tigers can make it a dozen straight wins over the Twins and their lone all-star, Michael Kadire. All right, have you checked the calendar? We are just 8 days away from the trade deadline, so it is our official countdown to the trade deadline. We welcome in from FoxSports.com senior writer Ken Rosenthal, joining us live from the Queen City. And Kenny, let's start with the biggest bat out there, Carlos Beltran of the Mets. On the move or not right now?
On the move, Chris, and it's going to happen sometime this week. Several of the Braves veterans surrounded me yesterday, badgering me, saying they wanted Beltran. They gave me the impression that they'd be willing to trade not only top prospects, but maybe even some close relatives. The Braves, though, are not going to trade a number of their top pitching prospects, especially for a rental such as Beltran. Chris, keep in mind, because of a stipulation in Beltran's contract, a team that loses him as a free agent cannot get draft picks in return. Therefore, you're guaranteed only 2 months of Carlos Beltran. That's it.
All right, Kenny, of course, this time of year, everybody's dying for starting pitching, and Hiroki Kuroda of the Dodgers is at the top of everybody's shopping list. However, he has an ironclad no-trade clause, so what's going to happen with him?
Well, Chris, it's been reported that he won't go to the Yankees, won't go to the Red Sox, won't come east. Not true. I learned today that Kuroda is keeping all of his options open, and this is good news for the teams that are interested in him. The Tigers, the Indians, the Rangers, and others. You can get Kuroda if you get him to approve the deal.
And finally, let's head down to St. Pete and B.J. Upton of the Rays. The last few years, his name's been bandied about in trade talk. Last night, Kenny, something almost came to fruition with him.
Well, not really, but it sure looked that way, and it had a lot of people buzzing, Chris. Basically what happened is this. Upton gets removed from the game. The Rays promoted their top outfield prospect, Desmond Jennings, and everyone thought a trade was about to happen. Not so fast. But Upton will be traded, trust me on that. One team that's interested that we haven't heard about before, the Cleveland Indians. Obvious fit here. Sizemore is down, Chu is down. They need an outfielder. Upton can upgrade them offensively, defensively, and with his base running.
Ken Rosenthal, as always, we appreciate the time. We'll continue to read your work on foxsports.com and follow you on Twitter as well. Enjoy the game out there.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to get you out to your game. Padres or Phillies. Some of you stay in the city of brotherly love. Others will get the second-place Atlanta Braves in the Queen City against the Cincinnati Reds. The rest of you will see the Tigers and the Twins from Minnesota. Scores and highlights also coming your way next here on Fox.
Well, much like the weather through the Queen City last night.
Setting temperatures in Philadelphia over the last couple of days. And we welcome you to Citizens Bank Park for the second of a 4-game weekend series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres. Approaching triple digits. 98 degrees today for the Phillies and the Padres. As we welcome you to Fox Saturday Baseball, I'm Kenny Albert. Phillies continue to roll. They've won a Major League high 62 games this season. Phillies have won 8 consecutive series, a 3-1 victory over San Diego in the series opener last night. As I welcome in my partner, Eric Karros. Eric, pitching has been the story for the Phillies so far this season, but as of late, some position players who missed time earlier this year have started to round into form.
Well, you're right. When you think about the Philadelphia Phillies, especially the past few years, it's been all offense. This year, the pitching has really carried the ball club. But again, you're going to need to score runs, and that's what they've been doing as of late. Chase Utley, who missed the first 2 months of the season, he's been on base in 24 consecutive ball games. And Jimmy Rollins, the former MVP, he's playing like an MVP. In the last 15 games, hitting close to 411 RBIs, 4 home runs. And Shane Victorino, he's back from the DL, and he's swinging it as well.
Phillies look to make it 2 in a row over the Padres here this afternoon. Phillies will send Kyle Kendrick to the mound against the Padres' Matt Latos. Phillies look to win their 4th in a row. They lead the National League East. Phillies and Padres coming up next right here on Fox. 100 degrees, triple digits at game time here in Philadelphia. The opening pitch moments away. It will be brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. The San Diego Padres with a record of 44-56. Their batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Center fielder Cameron Maybin will lead off, followed by the shortstop Jason Bartlett. Chase Headley bats third. Ryan Ludwig in the cleanup spot. Then first baseman Kyle Blanks. Right fielder Chris Godorfia. Bottom of the order, second baseman Logan Forsythe. The catcher Rob Johnson. And the pitcher Matt Latos. As the Padres get set to face 26-year-old right-hander Kyle Kendrick. Record of 5-4 in 8 starts and 15 relief appearances.
Well, for Kyle Kendrick to be effective, he's got to get the ground balls. Don't worry about the strikeouts. Keep your infield involved. Got to hydrate. We know how hot it is. You've got to keep yourself cool in between innings and get out of the heat. That means throw strikes. Get your ball club back in the dugout.
Pitcher profile brought to you by Sprint as Cameron Maybin takes ball 1. Will Venable was scheduled to lead off for the Padres today, but Venable a late scratch due to sore hamstring. So Maybin in the leadoff spot, and he grounds out to the second baseman Chase Utley for out number 1. Defensively for the Phillies, brought to you by Scotts, Ibanez, Victorino, and Brown in the outfield from left to right. Mayberry at first. Ryan Howard has the day off. Utley at second. Rollins at short. Martinez for the injured Placido Polanco at third. Carlos Ruiz the day off as well. The battery of Kendrick and Brian Schneider. So with one away, here's Jason Bartlett, Padres shortstop, who spent the last 3 years as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays. And the first pitch from Kendrick to Bartlett is in for a called strike. 0-1. Bartlett missed a couple of games earlier this week. He was on paternity leave. His wife Kelly gave birth to their second child, a son named Jagger. So congratulations to the Bartlett family. 1-1 from Kendrick, and a base hit into the gap in left center. A one-out single off the bat of Padres shortstop Jason Bartlett.
Bartlett gets a hold of that one. Ibanez does a nice job of cutting that ball off in left field. Hustles over there. See this pitch just low, right down into the really path of the swing. You can see misses his spot. Bartlett does a nice job. Remember, Bartlett now 21 stolen bases over at first. That's going to be something to watch today.
Padres lead the majors with 106 steals. Bartlett holds, and the first pitch is low, ball 1 to Chase Headley, who returned to the starting lineup yesterday. Missed just under a week due to a strained right calf. Now 1-1 on Headley with Brian Ludwig waiting on deck. Padres have had their problems offensively this season. They are last in the league in batting average, last in runs scored, last in base hits, last in home runs. Now 2-1 on Headley.
Well, you mentioned how anemic they are offensively. I mean, it is what it is, but that's one of the reasons also why they run so much and why they are first in all of Major League Baseball in stolen bases. When you look at that, they have to try to make something happen. They have to manufacture runs. Because quite frankly, you look up and down this lineup, and you got guys that are hitting third, fourth that probably should be hitting second or sixth or seventh in other lineups.
(2-1) to Headley, fouls it off to the left side. The umpires today: Bruce Dreckman, 15-year veteran behind the plate; Alan Porter at first base; Rob Drake at second; and the crew chief Gary Darling is the third base umpire.
You talk about how hot it is today for the players. How would you like to get that draw to be Bruce Dreckman today behind the plate?
No thanks. Two from Kendrick. Bounce foul to the right side, so Headley stays alive. Padres won 90 games a season ago. As we check out the thermometer down on the field.
Well, that'll cool you off right there, that little fan.
Kendrick missing away, and the count is full.
This is that sinker, it just runs off of the plate. See right there, it starts right on the corner, but as a hitter, you don't want that pitch. As a pitcher, you're hoping, God, I'd like to have that for a strike.
Bartlett goes. Payoff pitch is popped up. Left fielder Ibanez circling under it, makes the catch for out number 2.
And you see a little bit of the wind there with the flags moving, and the way Ibanez came in for that ball, it obviously carried a bit. Took a bit of a circuitous route, but he caught it. Now this is a guy, Ryan Ludwig, coming up to the plate. I mean, he's the offensive power for the Padres, but also he's a guy that has been mentioned that, you know, a lot of teams have their eye on as a possible right-handed outfielder addition.
Ludwig acquired by the Padres at the trade deadline last July 31st from the St. Louis Cardinals. Will he still be a San Diego Padre after July 31st, 2011? Sends this one into center field, moving to his left. Victorino crossing in front of Dominic Brown. Makes the catch to retire Ludwig. Middle of the first in Philadelphia. Outside the bunch, shortstop Jimmy Rollins leads off, followed by the third baseman Michael Martinez. Shane Victorino bats third. Chase Utley in the cleanup spot today in the absence of Ryan Howard. Raul Ibanez bats fifth, then right fielder Dominic Brown. Bottom of the order, catcher Brian Schneider. Then the first baseman John Mayberry and pitcher Kyle Kendrick. As the Phillies face 23-year-old right-hander Matt Latos, record of 5-10 in 18 starts this season. He won 14 games a year ago. And his pitcher profile is brought to you by Sprint.
Well, he had a real nice year last year. You know, and for him to be effective today, can't walk guys. In his last start against these Phillies, 5 free passes. Can't do that on a day like this. Careful with Jimmy Rollins. We talked about him at the top of the show. He's starting to swing it again like the MVP season he had a few years ago. And hey, not just for Matty Latos, but for everybody in the stadium today, hydrate, because it's hot.
Look at that big fan blowing in the Phillies dugout. How about Charlie Manuel's quote after the game last night?
Oh, it was great. You know, they asked him how he dealt with the heat, and he said, heck, I had the AC blowing on me right in the corridor of the dugout. And you know what? Every man for himself. I liked it.
I was standing in that spot in the Phillies dugout about 2 hours before the game last night. He's absolutely right. It feels about 20 degrees cooler in that exact spot than anywhere else in that dugout as Rollins sends this one to deep right field, just foul.
Rollins has had some success. I mean, it's not a huge sample, but he is 3 for 5 with a couple of walks. Also has a home run against Latos. And as I mentioned, this month, he's really been swinging the bat well. 4 home runs already. Hit .370.
Just missed. Rollins 36 career leadoff home runs, and that is a Phillies franchise record.
You know what, though, when you're on defense or you're a pitcher, that ball that was just hit, you know what that is? Strike one.
Now the 2-1 from Latos, and there is strike 2. 2-2 with Michael Martinez waiting on deck. Rollins 3 home runs over his last 6 games. Batting .382 his last 15. 2-2 and a base hit down the right field line into the right field corner. Rollins on his way to second, and he is in with a stand-up double for Jimmy Rollins. That is his 17th two-base hit of the season.
You know, what a boost for this ball club if he continues this torrid hitting that he's been on for this last couple of weeks. Absolutely smokes this ball. Jogs easily into second base, but he's starting to play, starting to move, starting to swing the bat like he did his MVP season. And really, since that time, he's been marred by injury. But I'll tell you what, the last 2 weeks, he looks great.
National League Most Valuable Player back in 2007. Rollins takes his leadoff second. Here's Michael Martinez, Phillies third baseman. He's done a nice job filling in for the injured Placido Polanco.
Well, he's got some timely hits. I mean, if you look at his numbers, they're not overwhelming. In fact, I'd go the other way. They're rather underwhelming. .277 on base percentage, a .318 slugging, but he has had some opportune hits.
First career home run against the Mets last Sunday. Rollins holds, and Martinez out at first.
Well, I like what Martinez is trying to do in this situation. Get the runner over to third base any way he can. I obviously don't like the execution there. As a runner at second base, the minute you see that ball up in the air, you have to freeze. See, look at Jimmy Rollins. He freezes. He can't tell if that's going to go to the pitcher, if the catcher's going to catch it. Now watch where Martinez goes after. This ball is almost head high with the umpire. Very tough to get on top of that and get that down on the ground. Again, the intent, excellent. The execution, not so good.
So one away for Shane Victorino, who returned to the Phillies lineup yesterday, activated from the disabled list. Victorino voted into the All-Star game by the fans who participated in the final vote. Beat out 4 other National Leaguers. And although he was unable to play in the All-Star game, did make the trip out to Phoenix, was introduced to the crowd prior to the Midsummer Classic.
Victorino, he's been their most consistent offensive player all year. Providing some power, some pop. See Chase Utley there. But Victorino, he leads this team in slugging percentage. I mean, you would never think that.
.2-0 from Latos. Fouled off to the left side. Victorino broke in with the Padres back in 2005. Played in 36 games for San Diego. And then following the 03 season was chosen by the Phillies in the Rule 5 draft. Latos missing high, now 3-1. Latos 0-2 in 3 career starts against the Phillies. Lost a 3-0 game. Roy Oswalt and the Phils in San Diego back in late April. Full count.
You see Latos, right, at least in this early part, he's living upstairs with that fastball. The Philadelphia Philly hitters are going after that fastball. Very difficult to catch up to anything that's, up there around 90. Now look at where that pitch is. That's very similar, maybe a little bit lower to that ball that Martinez tried to bunt. Philly hitters have to get him to bring it down.
Rollins goes, payoff pitch, ball 4, thrown down to third. Is not in time, so Victorino draws a walk, and Jimmy Rollins steals third base. For Rollins, his 20th steal in 22 attempts this season.
Well, you see Rollins gets a jump before Latos has even started his movement home. It's almost as if he looks towards second. Latos does, looks towards home. The minute he stares towards home, Jimmy Rollins takes off. Again, we're talking about Rollins in the hitting. The stolen bases, that's his 20th stolen base. He's only been caught twice. He's really starting to play well. Let me say that one more time, Kenny. Rollins is starting to play well.
There you go. So first and third for Chase Utley, who has reached base in 24 consecutive games. Utley missed the first 46 with the knee injury. Batting cleanup today for only the second time this season. First and third for the Phillies, only one out. Bottom of the first inning. On a 100-degree afternoon in Philadelphia. There's Rollins over at third, and Victorino takes his lead off first. Now 2-0. Getting hotter by the minute.
And just think, this is grass. What happens if this was played about 10 years ago at the vet? Wow. AstroTurf.
Victorino goes. Utley, deep left field. It's gone. A 3-run home run, number 5 of the season for Chase Utley. The Phillies take a 3-0 first inning lead.
Well, Chase Utley's been driving the ball the other way extremely well. This pitch up in the zone, but not out of the zone. Takes that pitch and shoots it to left field. He hit a couple balls well at Wrigley the other day to the opposite field. When we talked about it, Kenny, Rollins, Utley, Victorino, those guys get going and this offense starts to click. Man, they're going to be tough.
For Chase Utley, Eric, his 100th career home run in this ballpark. And the first home run allowed by Matt Latos his last 7 starts. Ibanez pops it up. No room for the catcher Johnson. So 1-2 on Raul Ibanez. Bud Black's Padres falling behind 3-0 here in the first inning.
And that's not good. 3 is not good. 1 is not good, but 3, especially with the way the San Diego Padres offensively, how they've played this year.
Ibanez strikes out. He's now 0 for his last 20 against Padre pitching. Now 2 away. Let's check out the San Diego Padres defensively, brought to you by Scotts, Ludwig, Mabin, and Tedorfia from left to right of the outfield. Blanks at first. We called yesterday. Forsythe at second, Bartlett at short, Headley at third. The battery of Latos and Johnson. Chase Utley, 3-run home run, giving the Phillies the early lead. Strike 1 to the young right fielder Dominic Brown. Right back to the box, snared by Latos. And that will do it for the Phillies in the first, but they take a 3-0 lead. Home run number 5 off the bat of Chase Utley. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By DirecTV. Now NFL Sunday Ticket is included when you switch to DirecTV. And by Gillette Fusion Pro Glide. Turn shaving into gliding and skeptics into believers. How many cheesesteaks do you think they're going to sell today? I would think the ice cream stand would do a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I got to go ice cream stand. Those and your favorite adult beverage today is probably going to do well.
I think you've already gone ice cream stand.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to get attacked one more time here. I can feel it.
Top of the second inning in 100-degree heat here in Philadelphia as Kyle Blank steps in to face Kyle Kendrick. Blank struck out as a pinch hitter last night. Recalled by the Padres, who sent Anthony Rizzo back down to AAA. Blank's hit 10 home runs for the Padres 2 seasons ago. Underwent Tommy John surgery last year. .2-0 from Kendrick is fouled off. Now 2-1.
Yeah, Blank's in AA and AAA. See that little guy staying cool right there. Trying to stay cool. I can tell you right now, if you're out there, you're the Philadelphia Phillies, you just put up 3 runs for your pitcher. Just go out there and pretend it's batting practice. Throw the ball right down the middle, let him hit it.
Right down the middle for a called strike. Count is full on blanks with Chris Denorfia waiting on deck. Payoff pitch on the ground to the shortstop, Rollins. One away as we check in with Chris Rose. Time for a DirecTV game break. Chris?
Well, guys, last night the Yankees took batting practice against the A's and dropped 17 on them. Today the A's fought back. Josh Willingham is 13th of the year. Then later on, it's the guy that was the 2009 World Series MVP for New York, Hideki Matsui, with his 8th. A's doubling up the Yanks 4-2 in the 9th. Remember to see every baseball game the most in HD. It's 1-800-DIRECTV. And Eric Karros, that is the 501st career homer for Matsui if you include his Japanese League home runs. Would you recognize that as a member of the 500 home run club?
No, I wouldn't. Oh. I wouldn't. I can't. The home runs over in Japan are not the same as hitting them over here in the big leagues. That's like Ichiro right now. I mean, how many hits would he have?
Well, he's got more than 3,600 hits combined between the States and over in Japan.
Yeah. Separate category.
Yeah, I just can't do it.
I was just curious, that's all.
We can acknowledge it, but we will. I will not put it in the same category as the other 500 home run hitters.
Just as we will not consider game breaks delivered by Chris in his Fox golf shirt in the same category as game breaks delivered in his shirt, tie, and jacket.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Here's the 1-2 from Kendrick. Nice backhanded play by Martinez. And the throw is in time to nail Denorfia.
As you mentioned, an excellent play by Martinez. He sees the hop. He's got to come in. It's a do or die. Backhands it, almost short hops it. But hey, let's give props to the first baseman, Mr. Mayberry, over at first. If he doesn't pick it, then it's not a great play. Watch the stretch, and let's pick it. That's a heck of a play by the first baseman as well. Nice defense all the way around. That's why this Philadelphia Philly ball club is the best in Major League Baseball as far as fielding percentage. Fewest errors in all of baseball.
And they've committed only 2 in the last 92 innings. Strike 1 to the second baseman, Logan Forsythe. Orlando Hudson missing his second consecutive game, listed as day-to-day following his collision down in Florida in a game against the Marlins on Thursday. Hudson suffering from lingering headaches and a right shoulder injury.
Well, and that hurts him offensively. And you watch this the other day while playing second base, a pop-up does the little head first. And see, there's 2 things. That turf over there, it's what it is. It's turf. It's a rubbery surface. So a lot of guys would normally go in, if it was dirt, and slide.
Forsythe with the second hit of the game for the Padres. Wide turnaround first, and then he heads back.
Getting back to Hudson, you'd normally slide, but because of that surface, you don't slide. You kind of just stumble into it. I think that was more the issue of what led him into the wall than anything.
So a 2-out single off the bat of Forsythe. Here's Padres catcher Rob Johnson. Johnson batting just .199, but he is 7 for his last 16, working on a 4-game hitting streak.
Well, you mentioned 199. He had to get hot to get there.
Yes,
that's what's a bit troubling.
But defensively, Johnson leading all of baseball in catcher's earned run average, which is basically
putting down the right fingers.
Yeah, the pitcher's ERA with Johnson behind the plate.
I thought it was just putting down the right fingers.
That too. 0-2 on Johnson. Top of the second inning here in Philadelphia. Chase Utley, a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first, giving the Phillies 3-0 lead. Kendrick missing away. One ball, two strike count. 2-2.
No, Kendrick doesn't want to mess around. Get this hitter and have the pitcher lead off the next inning. You don't want to go to a 3-2 count.
Johnson down on strikes. First strikeout for Kendrick. Forsythe stranded on first. How high is it at the Liberty Bell today? AT&T is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Bottom of the second inning in Philadelphia. Phillies leading the Padres 3-0. Well, baseball greats are coming together to kick off the Pepsi Max Field of Dreams promotion. You and your friends can win a chance to play ball with Major League Baseball legends. Visit Pepsi Max Field of Dreams online to enter today. Remember, if you build it, they will come. Here's Brian Schneider to lead off against Matt Latos. They're in the bottom of the second inning. Phillies catcher Carlos Ruiz has the day off, so Schneider making his 20th start. And the Phillies are 16-3 with the veteran behind the plate this season.
I think this is probably a reward. Yesterday, Roy Oswalt had to come out and throw a simulated game. And that was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Schneider had to catch that. You talk about hot. Wow. There's Oswalt there. And he came out of it pretty well. Threw about 50 pitches. Didn't have any issues with his back. Was able to plant against his front side. God, if they get him back, put him in this rotation. Oh. You see those numbers, but he started off extremely well.
Schneider flies out to Ludwig on the warning track in left for out number one. Well, you look at what Halladay, Lee, and Hamels have done this season. Then you add Oswalt. And how about Vance Worley?
I mean, the pitching has been exceptional. And as we talked about, You know, the Phillies have the best record in baseball, and they're not healthy. And you get some of these guys healthy, and we're not talking about guys that are just support guys. We're talking about impact guys, whether it's Polanco back at third base, whether it's Oswalt, whether it's Lidge, whether anybody. I mean, they're going to be just that much better.
Ryan Madsen returned last week. Brad Lidge activated yesterday for the first time this season. Polanco on the comeback trail. Off the glove of Latos. And Mayberry thrown out. Terrific play by Forsythe, charging after the ball deflected off the glove of the pitcher.
Real nice play. You see Forsythe breaking from the get-go. When he sees it get by Latos, he's able to barehand it and throw almost in the same motion. You see, watch, gets by him. Little tip. You see Forsythe just comes on in, grabs it barehanded, able to get Mayberry. And it's one thing, you know, this Padre ball club, they come to play every day. You know, they're not sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. They have gamers. Just haven't been able to string together a lot of wins.
Pop foul off the bat of Kendrick. So Mayberry robbed after he made a terrific play at first in the last half inning.
Well, as a hitter, getting robbed is that line drive. The guy dives for it, or an outfielder runs down. You know, that would have been a gift if he would have got that as far as a base hit. But I can tell you, as a hitter, you'll take every single one of them.
Kyle Kendrick had 2 base hits in his last start Sunday in New York. 3 for 13 this season. And that is strikeout number 2 for Latos. A 1-2-3 second. We'll return to Philadelphia after these messages from your local Fox station. On this 100-degree afternoon, Phillies leading the Padres 3-0 as Matt Latos leads off against Kyle Kendrick. Latos 2 for 28, hit a home run back in early May against the Pittsburgh Pirates, second of his career. So, Eric, we did some extensive research yesterday. The highest recorded temperature in the history of the city of Philadelphia, 106 degrees. back on August 7th, 1918. As Rollins throws out Latos for out number 1. So August 7th, 1918, it was 106 degrees in Philadelphia. And the Phillies played that day. They lost to Pittsburgh 4-2.
Yeah, but they weren't playing on turf. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't think that apparatus was in use back in 1918.
I don't think it stands a chance against that guy right there. Yeah, it's not. It just doesn't look comfortable to just be sitting out there and sweating. Although we're up here sitting and sweating.
A little cooler in our booth than in the stands, but not much. Strike 1 to Maben. Cameron Maben grounded out to the second baseman Utley. His first time up. Our statistician Marty Aronoff reminding us that games back in 1918 were routinely over in under 2 hours.
But they were wearing those flannel unis. I'm sure that wasn't a pleasant day either. No matter how you try to spin it, hot is hot is hot.
Maben rips this one into center field. Coming out to make the catch is Victorino for out number 2. What were some of your tricks when you had to play in heat such as this?
Well, you know, I mean, something like this, you'd come in, you'd towel in between innings. You'd have the trainer would have the towels in the cold water with the little, the ammonia packs. So you breathe those. You'd put your feet on turf fields. You put your feet in buckets of water. You do that when we were at the old vet, when we were at Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I mean, that was the worst, playing on turf in this kind of weather. It wasn't just your feet. If you dove for a ball as well, I mean, you could end up with 2nd or 3rd degree burns. Not fun.
Rollins. Bartlett is retired. A 1-2-3, 8-pitch 3rd inning for Kendrick. Friends in America, find out how to play and register your crew at bandofbuds.com. SDN.com. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose here in Philadelphia. Bottom of the third inning. Jimmy Rollins leading off for the Phillies against Matt Latos. Phillies leading 3-0. Chase Utley, 3-run home run back in the first inning. Rollins got things started back in the first with a double into the right field corner. Stole third and then scored on the Utley homer. .93-mile-per-hour fastball from Latos. How many pitches in today's game will match the temperature?
I'm not sure it's going to happen today. You know, and you talk about just trying to get through a ball game like this. You know, obviously you've got to go find a place in the dugout or even go into the clubhouse in between innings and try to cool down. You're obviously going to be drinking water, but really you have to do that the day before.
Rollins down on strikes. Third strikeout for Latos. Time for another DirecTV game break. Take it away, Chris Rose.
All right, Kenny. Braves trail the Phils by 4 in the NL East, and it's Derek Lowe with the bases loaded, a 2-run double, giving him 6 RBI this season. Braves lead the Reds 2-1. Remember, to see every baseball game the most in HD, it's 1-800-DirecTV. Only Daniel Hudson of the Arizona Diamondbacks has more RBI among pitchers this year. Guys?
Thanks very much, Chris. The Phillies, despite their 62 wins, best record in baseball, lead the Braves by only 4 games. Atlanta with the 3rd most wins in the majors, behind only Philadelphia and Boston.
Well, you take a look at that, and Atlanta's got the type of ball club. They're not going away. And in fact, they're a team that I still think has the ability to get better as the season progresses.
Martinez, shallow left. Ludwig makes the catch, 2 away.
You know, and I say Atlanta getting better as the season progresses. Hayward, the outfielder, starting to swing the bat better. Dan Uggla has been on a torrid stretch. And those guys really didn't have any impact. Chipper Jones out right now. When he comes back, they're going to get better. You talk about the 2 class teams in the National League, and you can stay right here in the East with the Phillies and the Braves. I know about the Giants. I understand that they're the world champs, but I just like the Braves and the Phillies as far as being well-rounded and having a lot of different weapons.
The Phillies and Giants, who met in the National League Championship Series last October, have not yet played each other this season. Phillies leading this game 3-0. Chase Utley with the big blow, and Latos has retired 7 in a row since the Utley homer.
Well, and the problem is you mentioned it, since the Utley homer, the Phillies have 3 runs on the board, and you know the Padres offensively, they've struggled all year long. 3 runs might be too much to overcome.
Victorino called out on strikes. 4th strikeout for Latos. He's retired 8 in a row. 3 innings in the books. 3-0 Phils. AT&T is sponsored by Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. 3-0 Phillies, top of the 4th inning. As Chase Headley leads off against Kyle Kendrick, who retired the Padres in order in the 3rd. Kendrick's teammates giving him the early 3-0 lead. And during Kendrick's career as a starter, he leads all active pitchers in run support. Nearly 7 runs per 9 innings have been scored in Kyle Kendrick's starts throughout his career with the Phillies.
A nice category to lead in. You know, and as a pitcher, what that does is every pitch doesn't have to be a do-or-die pitch. You can attack hitters in a different way when you have a comfortable lead. It changes the whole complexion of the game when a pitcher has a lead.
Headley fly to left field his first time up. Heart of the order for the Padres, Headley, Ludwig, and Blanks against Kendrick here in the top of the 4th. Fastball missing inside, and the count is full. Phillies led 3-0 after 4 last night. They lead 3-0 in the 4th here today. Payoff pitch to Headley. Kendrick missing inside, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued by Kendrick. So the Padres have the leadoff man on for the first time, as we said it downstairs at DirecTV Game Break with Chris.
Kenny, the Twins have dropped 11 straight to the Tigers, but already up 1-0 against Brad Penny, and then Danny Valencia delivers. Look at this one at Target Field. 12th of the year, a team leading 53 RBI. It's 2-0 in the 3rd. If they win, they're only 6 back of the Tigers in the AL Central. EK, which team do you like the most in that division?
I like the White Sox. I just think that they get better. I'd never discount the Twins, although I'll tell you, had them a few times in April. I was ready to discount the Twins the way they played the first month. But Ron Gardenhire ball club, you can never count out of the race.
Twins were 19 games out earlier this season.
19 games out, playing like they were about 35 games out.
Now just 7 behind the first place Tigers. Another big hit for Danny Valencia, who drove in the winning run in 2 games for the Twins earlier this week.
See, I like those White Sox, 5 back in the loss column, and I just think that there's too much there for them not to put it together for these final 2+ months.
Nothing and 2 on Ludwig, who flied out to the center fielder Victorino in the first inning.
As I mentioned before, a lot of teams looking at Ludwig, but this July has not been kind to him, and came into today hitting 164 this month. Not the kind of audition you'd like to give to other ball clubs to entice them to come after you.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
See, right now, Kendrick, he's nibbling, and there's no reason to nibble. You're going against an offense that really struggles. You've got a 3-0 lead. You're pitching out in the heat. You want your defensive guys to get back in the dugout. Go after him. Let him hit it. See Martinez right there. I can tell you, as a former infielder, and I know the pitchers are trying to throw the ball over the plate, and they're not trying to throw balls, but you're standing out there, you go, like, forget this trying part. Get the ball over the plate.
Victorino going, man, it's so hot out here, my thumb's starting to hurt again.
He's from Hawaii. He should be used to this.
I hate when people, there's no getting used to hot. When it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, it's cold.
On the ground to the shortstop, Rollins steps on second, fires to first, double play.
And that's what Kyle Kendrick does best. He lets his infield help him. When you've got the best defense in all of Major League Baseball, don't be afraid to use them. When you're going against a team, an offense like the Padres, I mean, we're going through the heart of the Padre lineup. 3, 4, and 5. Chase Headley, Ryan Ludwig, and Kyle Blanks. Go after him.
Here's Blanks, who grounded out to Rollins his first time up. Padres have had 3 base runners. Bartlett singled in the first, Forsythe a base hit in the second, and the walk to Headley here in the fourth. He was erased on the double play. Another huge crowd here in Philadelphia despite the heat. Coming into today's game, Phillies with 173 consecutive sellouts.
As good of fans as there are in the game, no question.
They lead all of baseball in average attendance, over 45,000 per game. And the Phillies have won 35 of 50 here at home. Did Blanks go around? He did not, says Alan Porter. 2-2. Two from Kendrick. Backhanded by Martinez. And the Padres are retired in the fourth. Middle of the fourth in Philadelphia. Still 3-0 Phillies. On 2 hits for the Phillies. The 3 runs coming on 1 swing of the bat from Chase Utley, who will lead off here in the bottom of the 4th inning against Matt Latos. Utley with his 5th home run of the season back in the 1st inning, his 100th career home run in this ballpark, and he has now reached base in 25 consecutive games, doing it from the cleanup spot as Ryan Howard has the day off. Howard struggling since the All-Star break, just 2 for 25 with no extra base hits.
Well, and Charlie Manuel telling us before the game he just wanted Ryan Howard to go down, get some work in the cage, take the day off. There's Charlie right there. Knows a thing or two about hitting. But, you know, Ryan Howard for the last few years, and Charlie Manuel tells me every year, he said, the big guy's going to get hot and he's going to carry us. And I'm telling you, it seems like either August or September, it's like clockwork. Ryan Howard just goes on a tear. We're hoping he does the same thing this year.
Has Charlie moved from that one cool spot in the Phillies dugout?
Charlie, I think he pretty much anchored down, took that spot. He's not giving it up. You move from that, somebody else might slide on in there.
606 wins as Phillies manager. Trailing only Gene Mauch and Harry Wright, who managed the Phillies back in the 19th century. 826 wins overall with Cleveland and Philadelphia. Utley throws a leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Latos. Well, this week on MLBFanCave.com, 3 new videos debuted as part of the ongoing Fan Cave web series. Mets rookie pitcher Dylan G records an audition tape for Sesame Street, but runs into some difficult puppets. And Colorado Rockies outfielder Ryan Spilborghs conducts offbeat interviews as part of his ongoing series, Spill the Beans. Spilborghs interviews teammate Jason Hamill and Mike O'Hara, the fan who is watching every MLB game this season along with Ryan Wagner at the Fan Cave. You can see these videos and much more at MLBFanCave.com. Raul Ibanez struck out his first time up. As you see, just 2 for his last 37 against the Padres. Utley takes his lead off first and gets back in following the throw from Johnson.
Well, Chase Utley over at first base, 10 stolen bases this year, has not been caught yet. Again, the Philadelphia Philly Ball Club, they're leading all of Major League Baseball in stolen base percentage. Padres have the most. Phillies are the most successful.
Utley with 17 consecutive steals dating back to the 2010 season. A 1-2 to Ibanez, and it's fouled off back behind third. Latos had not allowed a home run over his last 6 starts until Utley connected back in the first inning. 10th home run allowed by Latos this season. He started the year on the disabled list due to a strained right shoulder. Remember, he lost his last 5 starts last year. He lost his first 5 decisions this season.
And you see that fastball right there. He had been elevating his fastball. Some of the Phillies hitters had gone after it, hadn't been able to catch it. That one down just a bit as compared to the others. Utley hit out.
Bounce to the right side. Utley out at second. Ibanez safe at first. So the Padres get the lead runner, now 1 away.
Oh, a nice play by the big man over at first base. Gets a good feed. You see, he's going to throw it inner half part of the bag. Boom, and right there, Bartlett smartly holds on to it. Pitcher wasn't able to get to first base. Don't want to try and hit the pitcher on the run over to first and risk an overthrow.
So Ibanez on at first with 1 out. Here's Dominic Brown, who Bounce back to the pitcher. Latos, his first time up.
Well, you see the dominance of Matt Latos last year. 2.92 ERA, and as you mentioned, Kenny struggled down the stretch. This year he's fought some injuries, and quite frankly, the pitchers don't have the offensive support that they did last year. Much better situational hitting team the Padres were last year. You see those 10 losses this season, 10 total runs of support. Wow.
Now 1-2 on Brown. Latos at one point last year was 14-5 before losing those last 5 starts. He also set a major league record in 2010. He allowed 2 or fewer runs in 15 consecutive starts.
And you do that this year, and you're the San Diego Padres. Not sure what that does for you as a pitcher. Probably just frustrates you because offensively, like I said, they just have not been able to put anything together. You know, I mean, if you're the opposing ball club and you're going down that Padre lineup, you're trying to pick the guys that you don't want to beat you. You're going through the whole lineup and you're thinking, all right, well, we got to pick somebody, right? And who are we going to pick? And nobody jumps out. You know, last year they had Adrian Gonzalez. Now with the Red Sox. You know, but as a pitcher for the Padres, it's just so frustrating because you've got to be perfect.
Brian Schneider waiting on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Banez, the runner on first. Fans trying to keep cool. Fastball missing high. 2-2 on Brown.
See Matty Latos up to 60 pitches. Still here in the 4th. And again, compare that, you know, in some nice weather, he probably feels like he's thrown about 90 pitches.
Another fastball higher. The count is full. Ibanez goes, payoff pitch, sent it to right field. Denorfia moving to his left as Ibanez retreats to first. Brown flies out, now 2 away. Brian Schneider flied out to the warning track in left field, his first time up. Take you back to April 21st. Schneider taking Latos deep. Schneider and Ben Francisco with second inning home runs. Phillies would go on to defeat Latos and the Padres at Petco Park 3-0. Latos lasted only 4 1/3 in that game.
Yeah, that was a 4-game series where the Padres were outscored 12-3, shut out twice. Phillies have really had this Padres ball club number this year.
5-0 this year. 8 consecutive wins dating back to last season for the Phillies over the San Diego Padres. Phillies have won their last 8 series overall. They've won their last 8 series here at home. They've dominated the Padres as of late. 62 wins, leading all of Major League Baseball. Snyder down on strikes. 5th strikeout for Latos. Through 4 here in Philadelphia. Phillies maintaining their 3-0 lead. Baseball on Fox, presented by AT&T. AT&T, rethink possible. Phillies lead 3-0 as we head to the 5th. Padres without a run today, and without a run now in 720 of the 917 innings they have played. That's 79%, which leads all of baseball. Chris Denorfia leading off. Grounded out to the third baseman Martinez, who made a terrific play, as did the first baseman Mayberry. Back in the 2nd inning. Not to keep piling on, but
don't do it then.
We've talked about the Padres and their offensive numbers. They've been shut out 15 times this season, most in all of baseball. They've been held to 1 run or fewer 32 times, which leads the majors. Denorfia looking to bunt his way on. Denorfia not in the original starting lineup for San Diego today. We mentioned earlier Will Venable scheduled to start in right field, bothered by sore hamstrings. Orlando Hudson remains day-to-day as well. Padres batting .143 in their 6 games against the Phillies this season.
Well, that's what happens when bad hitting goes against excellent pitching. It's not a good recipe.
And how about Cole Hamels last night?
Yeah, he was sweet. He struck out 7 of the first 9. We spoke with Bud Black, manager of the Padres, and he said he had never seen Hamels with the command that he had last night. The ability to throw 4 pitches, throwing change-ups inside the right-handed hitters, throwing cutters on the outside part of the plate. There's Bud Black right there.
Hamill struck out 10. San Diego native. Padres fan as a youngster. Won his 12th game of the season last night. One more than Roy Halladay, 3 more than Cliff Lee. All 3 went to the All-Star game. Hamels did not pitch because he had pitched the prior Sunday. Hamels coming off his poor start on Fox against the Mets in New York last Saturday. Rebounded in a big way last night. Hamels tied for the National League lead with those 12 victories with Jair Jurgens of the Atlanta Braves, who actually called play-by-play 2 weeks ago today on Fox here in Philadelphia when Cliff Lee hit his first major league home run. We were chatting with Jurgens down in the dugout, and Jair took over. Not that he was happy about it.
I don't think he was happy about it. But he did get to call it. Cliff Lee connecting off of Tommy Hunter.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat to Norfia, and it's low, ball 4.
We see Cole Hamels. He starts on the outside part of the plate. He's wearing those hitters out, then come with that curveball inside. They just had everything working last night. Like I said, you go up against a club that's struggling offensively. Cole Hamels was in a zone. Threw a great ball game.
Here's Logan Forsythe. Singled his first time up. Padres have the leadoff man on for the second time. Fastball in for strike 1. Forsythe out of the University of Arkansas. Second round pick back in 2008. There's Rob Johnson waiting on deck. Forsythe in his 3rd stint with the Padres this season. One and 2.
Remember last inning when Kendrick started the Padre leadoff hitter with a walk. He was able to induce a double play. Looking for the same thing right now with Forsythe at the plate.
There it is. 6-4-3. Forsythe grounds into the double play. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Well, next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the Angels head to Detroit to take on the Tigers. Rays battle the Mariners, or the Cubs square off against the Cardinals. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by AT&T begins at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific next Saturday. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Here's Rob Johnson with the bases empty. Johnson celebrated his 29th birthday yesterday. Struck out of the 2nd inning today. Padre bats are on fire this week in Florida. They swept the Marlins, scored 23 runs in the 3 games down in South Florida, but only 1 run through 13 and 2/3 innings so far in this series.
And I'm sure Bud Black would have liked to have saved some of those runs for up here. Not spend them all in Florida. Well, historically, though, they have played well down in Florida, especially as of late.
Cameron Maybin, the former Marlin, going 9 for 15 in the series.
Now watch the movement on Kendrick's pitch. See, that's just a straight well, I should say that's just a fastball, but the movement he gets allows him to be effective at this level. I mean, every pitch is a sinker. It's got that sinker downward action. What he does, he gets a lot of ground balls, and if he's able to keep that ball over the plate, not issue walks, keep it down, well, he's a very good pitcher. Gets into trouble when he elevates. 76 pitches right now, almost through 5.
With Halladay and Hamels watching, pitch number 77 hit on the ground to the shortstop. Rollins backhands it, jump throw is in time to Neil Johnson. The 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, Jimmy Rollins. What a play. AT&T, rethink possible. Bottom of the 5th inning here in Philadelphia. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose. All the runs in this game coming in the 1st inning on the Chase Utley 3-run home run is it's finding a way to try and stay cool.
A warm one out here, even in the shade. But everybody looks like they're enjoying themselves. And again, this place is packed. Oh, there it is. The cure-all for a lot of things. Ice cream.
Strike 1 to John Mayberry. Fastball missing high and tight, 1-1. Well, you and I have the opportunity to travel to so many ballparks around the majors, and this one is right up there, among the best.
Yeah, it really is. You know, I think that's what's also allowed Philadelphia to become the ball club that they've been over the last few years. players want to come here. Not only the ballpark and the field itself, but the fans, the support you get.
Mayberry with a base hit into left field. First hit for the Phillies since the first inning. So the Phillies have the leadoff man on. Across the state to the west, how about the Pittsburgh Pirates? With a record of 51-46, only one game out of the NL Central.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously been the story this year as far as surprises. I mean, you talk about them, you talk about Arizona in the National League West, but these guys have really done it with the pitching. And that is really what has emerged this year, the starting pitching, the staff. Clint Hurdle has changed the environment over there. Very positive guy, but a guy that also commands respect. They've done a wonderful job. I'm not sure that they have enough to run the next 2 months, and I say that if they don't make any moves. And we saw Milwaukee make a move, going out and getting Frankie Rodriguez. The Cardinals, there's talk about them making a move. The Reds. The Pirates, if they stand pat, I think they're in trouble.
Tough schedule over the last 2 months. August and September for the Pirates. They were 34-63 at this point last season, as Kendrick is thrown out by Johnson, who had some trouble scooping up the baseball. Mayberry moves to second.
Oh, nice job by Kyle Kendrick to get the bunt down. You see Johnson thinking about maybe going to second, tries to hurry it a bit, doesn't get a handle. Still composed enough, though, to get the out at first base.
So the Phillies with a runner in scoring position for Jimmy Rollins. Doubled in the first inning, struck out in the third. There's Mayberry, takes his lead off second. First pitch, Rollins pops it up, foul territory. Headley is under it for out number 2.
Guys, you were talking about the Pirates. I think the important thing is that we're actually still talking about the Pirates here in late July. They haven't been to the playoffs since '92. A lot of people know that, but they got a sellout last night. They expect another one tonight. That would give them a dozen, which is the most since 2001, which was the year they opened PNC Park. So just the fact that people are filling the seats and they're not focused on Steelers football quite yet tells you a little something about that city.
Well, it tells you that people want to be involved and want to support the Pirates as long as they put out a good product. And I think if you're ownership, you've got to recognize that. You've got to go out and make a move. Show the city that, hey, we're in this as well. We're not just happy we're playing and we're winning right now. We're going to go for it. Because, again, you can talk about supporting your team, but ownership also has to make a commitment.
Like the Phillies, the Pirates play in a beautiful ballpark. And the Pirates have been added to our Fox schedule for 2 games in August. August 13th against Milwaukee. August 20th against Cincinnati.
As well they should. They've been playing well. Got to recognize what they've been doing.
Martinez went around and is thrown out at first. So 5 innings in the books here in Philadelphia. Latos has settled down. Still 3-0 Phils. By AT&T is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball across the country. And by Burger King, now offering $1 frozen drinks. Sixth inning in Philadelphia. Phillies lead the Padres 3-0. Phillies won last night's game 3-1 behind Cole Hamels. Here's Matt Latos to lead off against Kyle Kendrick. Padres with only 2 base hits. They've had 4 base runners, the last 2 erased on double plays. Latos with a base hit into center field. The first San Diego hit since the second inning. 3rd hit of the season for Matt Latos. Well, Chevrolet proudly supports the great game of baseball at all levels. See how they're making kids' baseball dreams come true across the USA at ChevyBaseball.com. So the Padres have the leadoff man on now, Eric, for the 3rd consecutive inning. Headley leadoff walk in the 4th, and Orfield leadoff walk in the 5th, both erased on double plays.
Well, the Padres have their hottest hitter at the plate right now in Cameron Maybin. 8-game hitting streak coming into today.
And he crushes this one down the left field line. And Maybin cuts the Phillies lead to 1. Home run number 6 on the season as Maybin extends his hitting streak to 9 games. He takes Kendrick deep. The Phillies lead is now 3-2.
Well, would you believe a 9-game hitting streak right now for Cameron Maybin? You know, when you talk about this Padre ball club, he's the guy that has the tools. He's been around a few years, but remember, he's only 23 years old. You see this sinker just continues to come in. Maybin gets the bat head out, says there'll be no double play this time with a guy on. Just hooking, shoots off the pole. It's a beautiful sight when you're standing at home plate in the box when that happens. Well, remember that it starts off with the Matty Latos single up the middle.
Fouled off to the right side. Bartlett 1 for 2, single back in the 1st inning. Cameron Maybin hit his first major league home run on Fox Saturday Baseball. Did it back in 2007 as a member of the Tigers off Roger Clemens at Yankee Stadium. There's Michael Stutz up and throwing in the Phillies pen. Utley charging. 1 away.
See the leg kick, that ball running in. Watch Brian Schneider. He's locked in right there. He's got the hips open, cheating a little bit. Schneider has to move his glove because it's not to the location. Let's see it again. Lift the leg.
Headley, deep left field. We are tied at 3. The second Padre home run here in the 6th inning. Number 3 of the season for Chase Headley.
Again, this Padre ball club not known for their power. Maybin crushes one. Headley does the same as Utley. That left-hander shooting the ball out. Similar type pitch. Outer part of the plate. Belt high. Gets it up in the air and flies out. Got ourselves a tie ball game. I'll tell you right now, Chase Headley happy that this game is here and not at Petco in San Diego, because That's just a routine fly ball there.
Padre hitters must have heard us talking about them.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Bud Black said that, you know, a lot of times the hitters have to guard against going on the road trying to do too much. They get excited that they're not playing at Petco. Figure they're going to make up some offensive numbers. You see Kyle Kendrick, 85 pitches. Again, 3 hits already this inning.
So a 3-0 lead has turned into a 3-3 game as Ludwig shoots this one into right center, and the catch is made by Victorino for out number 2. So the Padres, last in the league in home runs, only 51 coming into this game, have hit 2 in the 6th inning. After Latos led the inning off with a single up the middle, Maben a 2-run shot. Bartlett grounded out, and then Chase Headley with a solo home run, tying the game at 3. Here's Kyle Blanks, 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Blanks born about 25 miles from the city of Philadelphia.
Well, if you're the Philadelphia Phillies, this is where you can get into a bit of trouble as well, because now you've got a tie ball game. You're late in the game, I should say past the middle part of the game, and now you're going to have to go against the San Diego bullpen pretty soon. As we mentioned earlier, it's the best bullpen in baseball. You'll see those guys anchored by Heath Bell.
Mike Adams having another terrific season.
Unbelievable, yeah. You know, where the Padres get in trouble, they get behind early and then just can't catch up. And on the rare occasions they do catch up or take the lead, then they become a force to be reckoned with.
Now the 3-1 to Blanks. He went around, full count. Padres with 3 runs here in the 6th inning. All of the runs in this game have come via the long ball as Blanks singles into left field. Four hits in the inning for the Padres, including 2 home runs. Here comes Charlie Manuel. Kyle Kendrick entered this inning with a 3-0 lead. Had allowed only 2 hits over the first 5. That will be all for Kendrick as Charlie signals for the right-hander, Michael Stutes. Kyle Kendrick and the Phillies led 3-0 through 5, but Kendrick allows 2 home runs, 3 runs, 4 hits in the 6th, and he will be replaced by Michael Stutes, who will face Chris D'Onofrio with runner on first, Kyle Blanks, and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning in a 3-3 game. D'Onofrio walked his last time up. Grounded out back in the 2nd inning.
Well, Stute's doing a nice job this year. You know, and one of the things, the good things about Phillies having some injuries is some guys have had opportunities. Stute's being one of them down in the bullpen. He's been able to step up. Bastardo as well has really emerged. Just provides more depth for Charlie Manuel.
D'Onofrio reaches out, fouls it off, back behind first. Brian Madsen and Brad Lidge return to the Phillies roster this week. Blanks goes. Utley to Mayberry. And D'Onofrio is retired, but the Padres score 3 in the 6th. Cameron Maybin, a 2-run shot. And then Chase Henley with a solo home run, tying this game at 3. Sort of Master Chef. See how one contestant deals with the biggest berating in Master Chef history. It all starts Monday at 9, 8 Central, only on Fox. Well, new ball game here in Philadelphia. Phillies were cruising along with a 3-0 lead. It's now 3-3 as Matt Latos delivers to Shane Victorino, who walked and scored in the first and then was caught looking in the third.
Well, here the Phillies 3, 4, and 5 up. Everybody's seen Latos a few times. This will probably be their last chance to see him before that bullpen comes out.
And we talked about the positive run support for Kendrick throughout his career. Latos this season, no surprise given the Padres' offensive struggles. 6th lowest run support among National League pitchers, just over 3 runs per game. But they put up 3 in the top of the 6th, and Latos started the inning with a single, and he would score on the Maben home run. Victorino with a base hit to lead off the bottom half of the 6th for the Phillies. So the leadoff man is on as we send it downstairs. Chris Rose, DirecTV Game Break.
All right, Kenny, remember the Twins try to snap an 11-game slide against the Tigers. Delman Young goes to right center. That's going to score Kubel and Valencia. 4-0 Twins. The big story here, Scott Baker, 5 shutout innings so far. More than 41 innings worth at Target Field with only 1 earned run allowed. Pretty good pitching. Certainly much better than my explanation of that statistic, Kenny.
We understood, Chris. I know it's hot down there. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's okay. The brain starts cramping in the heat down here.
How does that affect you?
Well played. It's good.
You know, we haven't seen Chris in a while. We have no idea where he is in this ballpark.
Air conditioned somewhere, I'm sure.
Actually, I'm back in my house.
We've heard him, but we haven't seen him. There he is.
There's Rosie right there.
I love Chris's attire during the pregame show.
There you go.
Coat and tie.
Can you see the sweat beads from there?
Looking cool as ever, Chris.
Coat and tie and shorts during our pregame.
Can't give him up.
Giving away all the secrets. Way to back up the bus over.
Well, he already gave us permission to tweet the photo of him. It's out there.
Good point.
Would never do that without your permission, Chris.
You did. You got it signed, sealed by the attorney. Good job.
Chase Utley, 3-run shot in the first, which gave the Phillies a 3-0 lead. Now 2-0. Josh Spence, the left-hander, up in the Padres bullpen. Victorino, a leadoff single. 2-0 to Utley and a base hit into right field. Good job by Victorino getting out of the way of that baseball. Back-to-back base hits to start the inning. And the Phillies have runners on first and second with nobody out.
Well, and this is one of the reasons why Victorino stayed at first base and didn't steal. It keeps Banks at the first base bag. He's not playing off the bag. Therefore, you have that hole to hit through. Chase Utley uses it. Runners on first and second. See, I'm not so sure he would have been able to have it anyhow. But when you have a left-handed hitter up, even with a guy on first base, you know, that runs, you don't always necessarily want to have him run. Leave him at first. Let that guy hit through that hole.
85 pitches for Latos. So now Victorino is at second base. Utley over at first for Raul Ibanez. Ibanez swinging at the first pitch. He pops it up to the left side of the infield. The shortstop Bartlett is under it. 1 away. So Ibanez now 0 for 3.
That pitch just too high in the zone. It's one of those ones as a hitter you think, I can get to it. I want to. Oh, darn it. And it's really frustrating. You got a pitcher on the ropes, first and second. Instead of getting up there, being so aggressive, be patient. Easier to say when you're up here. You know, not that Dominic Brown would do it, but where Forsythe, second baseman, is playing, and Blanks, the first baseman, I mean, he bunts one to the right side. He could run for days. You look at that. You know, it was the same spot that Ibanez was playing. When Ibanez was at the plate. You know, not thinking that they would drop a bunt down.
Foul back to the screen, 0-2. Josh Spence, the left-hander, and the right-hander Luke Gregerson up for the Padres pen. Tied at 3, bottom of the 6th inning, 2 on, 1 out.
You see shaded, that left side of the infield shaded more towards second base.
Left center, maybe moving to his right. 2 out. So after the Phillies pieced together back-to-back base hits to start this inning, Ibanez swinging at the first pitch, popped out to short, and now Brown flies out to center. Now an opportunity for Brian Schneider.
If they don't do it here, they may look back to Phillies at this inning and think, this was our inning to have an opportunity to win the ball game, because as I mentioned before, that Padre bullpen comes in the 7th inning. They're going to be tough to score against.
Schneider 0 for 2. Victorino takes his lead off second. There's Utley over at first. Ibanez had an opportunity earlier this inning. Latos 1 strike away from ending the inning. One-two to Schneider, called strike 3. So the Phillies had 2 on with nobody out. And then Latos retires the next 3. His 7th strikeout through 6. We are tied at 3, and we'll return after these messages from your local Fox station. AT&T. AT&T, rethink possible. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Chris Rose here in Philadelphia. 100 degrees at the start of today's game. Phillies took a 3-0 lead in the first on a Chase Utley 3-run home run. Padres tied the game with a pair of home runs in the sixth. Cameron Maybin a 2-run shot, and then Chase Headley with a solo home run. Logan Forsythe leading off here in the seventh against Michael Stutz, who came on in relief of Kyle Kendrick after Kendrick allowed the 2 home runs in the sixth. Forsythe singled back in the second, rounded into a double play in the fifth. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves due to technical difficulties. Welcome to Philadelphia, where the Phillies and Padres are tied at 3, top of the 7th inning. Logan Forsythe with a drive to deep right field, and it's off the wall and right, bounces all the way to center. Forsythe heading for third, and he is in.
Well, this ball just continues to carry and carry. Now watch where it hits. Hits up on top and shoots back past Victorino. Dominic Brown heading back. This hits up high on the wall. And when he first hit it, he thought he got it. But again, because of the heat today, we've seen 2 balls carry well to left. Both home run balls by the left-handed hitters. Forsythe, this ball just kept going and going. Padres have a golden opportunity here.
First major league triple for Logan Forsythe. Padres with the leadoff man on for the 4th consecutive inning. There's Rob Johnson. He takes ball 1. For those of you who just joined us from Cincinnati, Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose. Phillies led 3-0 in the first on Chase Utley's 5th home run of the season, a 3-run shot off Matt Latos. That 3-0 lead stood until the 6th, when the Padres hit 2 home runs in a span of 3 batters. There's Jesus Guzman, who has come out into the on-deck circle to bat for the pitcher Latos. Padres last in the league in runs scored, hits, home runs, and batting average. With the 2 home runs in the 6th, there's Chad Qualls up in the San Diego pen. Cameron Maybin, a 2-run shot. And then 2 batters later, Chase Headley hitting his 3rd home run of the season, tying this game at 3. Phillies just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Padres hitting multiple home runs for only the 10th time. They are last in the league with 53 home runs. Rob Johnson down on strikes.
This is just a rear back and fire a fastball right by Rob Johnson.
So with 1 out and a runner on third, Jesus Guzman to pinch hit for Matt Latos. Guzman batting .306 this season. He's 3 for 9 as a pinch hitter with 2 runs batted in. There's Latos, who battled through the heat. 100 degrees at game time here in Philadelphia. Allowed the 3 first-inning runs. 0-2 on the pinch hitter Guzman.
He's got 2 breaking balls so far. You'd have to expect that may get another one, something out of the zone, trying to get him to chase.
He reaches out, pops it up. Utley just to the left of the second base bag. for out number 2. So with 2 away, here's Cameron Maben, put the Padres on the board in the top of the 6th inning with a 2-run home run, his 6th of the season, extending his hitting streak to 9 games. Maben now with 11 hits in his last 21 at-bats.
Well, and the Phillies have to know that. And if you're going to get beat, make the next guy beat you. Maben, pitch carefully to him, pitch around him. You see the home run earlier. This is just a sinker that continues to run in. Maben trying to help it stay fair. Hits the pole. It stays fair. Again, if I'm the Phillies right now, I'm just trying to nibble. I'm okay with walking Maben.
Maben takes strike 1.
We talked about it earlier. If there is one guy on the Padres right now that you have to pick, don't let us beat you. This is the man right here.
One 1 from Stutz. Fastball missing away, 94 miles per hour. Now 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 right now. You figure Maben's wound up for a fastball here. You come with a breaking ball out of the zone and hope he goes after it.
Off the glove of Rollins, Forsythe scores. Padres take a 4-3 lead.
That's a nice job by Maben. Jimmy Rollins, a good effort, but this here it is. It's the breaking ball. It's just out of the zone, not far enough. Rollins makes a great effort. And even with the great arm, it's a close play at first base. Maben runs well. Just glides down there. Looks smooth. But see, we go back to that previous inning where the Phillies had runners on first and second. You had Ibanez, Brown, and Schneider coming to the plate. You figured that would be the last inning. You'd see the Padres starter before you got to that bullpen. And that could be the inning that you're going to come back and wish, man, had to put one on the board.
Maben with 20 steals in 22 attempts this season. We mentioned earlier, Padres lead all of baseball in stolen bases. They do not have a steal today, have not had many opportunities. Maben goes. Here's the throw from Schneider. And Maben has his 21st steal.
That's a great job by Brian Schneider. He does everything that he can. Makes a great throw down to second base. But Cameron Maben, his speed, his length, ability to get that left hand in there just ahead of the tag.
Now 2-1 on Bartlett. Padres with 3 runs in the 6th, 1 here in the 7th. Maben has driven in 3. Padres coming back from the 3-run deficit after falling behind in the first inning.
As I mentioned before, this Padre ball club, they come to play each and every inning. They'll continue to battle you. Got excellent pitching. See, they haven't been hitting the Phils, but last 2 innings they have. 4 runs, 6 hits.
Martinez across to Mayberry, but the Padres score 1 as Maben drove in Forsythe through triple. 7th inning stretch time in Philadelphia. 4-3 San Diego.
Philadelphia, where the Padres have just taken a 4-3 lead in the 7th. However, Phillies fans, you have reason to smile. We'll show you why in our DirecTV game break. The second-place Braves are now trailing in Cincinnati. The reigning World Series MVP, Edgar Renteria, with a 2-run double as Drew Stubbs just slides in safely. Reds will tack on another. It is 4-2 as they head to the 7th. Remember, the Phillies with a 4-game lead in the NL East chase. Back on upstairs to Kenny and EK. Guys?
All right, thanks, Chris. 32-year-old right-hander Chad Qualls on in relief of Matt Latos, who is the pitcher of record at the moment for the Padres. Qualls making his team-leading 49th appearance of the season. And he will face a pinch hitter, Ryan Howard, who will bat for John Mayberry Jr.
Well, Charlie Manuel hoping that hitting that Ryan Howard did earlier in the game in the batting cages pays off right now.
Bottom of the 7th. First pitch. Howard. Deep center field. Charlie, it paid off. One swing of the bat. Ryan Howard off the bench as a pinch hitter. We are tied at 4. His 6th career pinch hit home run. Now another pinch hitter, Ross Globe, with a base hit down the right field line of the first pitch he saw from Qualls. Globe in safely at second. 2 pitches, 2 extra base hits in the inning. The Howard home run, and now a Ross Globe double.
See this pitch just out over the plate. We talked about how stingy this bullpen has been. But so far, 2 pitches. You got 1 run in, a man on second. You're going to get a pinch runner now. Wilson Valdez.
So Valdez running for Glode, takes his leadoff second. Jimmy Rollins at the plate, 3rd pitch of the inning. Rollins takes strike 1.
Well, as much as Jimmy Rollins wants to drive Valdez in, it's more important that he hits it to the right side. If he drives him in, that's just gravy, but he's got to get that runner to third base.
Roll 1 from Qualls, missing low and inside, now 1-1.
You know, and as somebody watching at home, you're thinking, oh, just get him over to third, pull the ball. But remember, as a pitcher out there, you're trying to prevent that. It's not like you're just throwing balls right down the middle and, you know, Jimmy Rollins, I'm going to just yank this over. I mean, it's a battle here right now. It's not as easy as it appears to be.
The home run hit by Howard, only the 2nd home run Qualls has allowed this season in 48 innings.
Josh Spencer, seen him a couple times up in that bullpen. Let's see what happens now. If Rollins does get down to first on a walk, and Martinez bunts him over, you got guys on second and third.
3-1 to Rollins. Rollins heads down to first. So Qualls has faced 3 Phillies, has not retired any of them. And here comes Padres skipper Bud Black. We've talked about this Padres bullpen. They lead all of baseball with an earned run average of 2.71, but Qualls running into major problems here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, they're due for a hiccup. I mean, they've been so dominant. And again, I get back to the pressure that the San Diego Padre pitching staff is under. Every single game, they have got to be near perfect. And after a while, that just taxes you. You know, eventually you're going to have, you know, a bad pitch here, a bad pitch there. And again, though, it's a tie ball game right now. And remember, Martinez did not, he got the bunt down, but didn't advance the runner. Just popped it straight up, didn't bunt at strikes.
Martinez today 0 for 3. Headley, the third baseman, was charging in from third. Victorino waiting on deck. Phillies have tied the game on Ryan Howard's first home run in his last 145 at bats. His first extra base hit since the All-Star break.
Now, I'd like to see Martinez, if he is going to bunt, score around early. You're not bunting for a base hit. Go ahead. Everybody in the park knows you're going to bunt. Get it around. Get that bat out there. You're going to bunt. Get it out there now.
Martinez squares.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've seen 4 bunt attempts this ball game from Martinez. I haven't seen one good one yet. And this is a guy that, you know, in order to be in the big leagues, to be on a major league ball club, he's got to do these sorts of things.
Rule 5 draft pick from Washington. Martinez squares. Here's the 0-2 from Qualls. And it bounces away from the catcher, Johnson. Both runners advance.
I'll tell you, the happiest guy in the ballpark right now has to be Martinez.
Huh.
I mean, he was just let off the hook right there. You see Valdez, he's thinking about it, but there's no way with the guys coming up, nobody out, that he can go.
So Valdez now takes his lead off third. Rollins off second. The 1-2 to Martinez, swinging away, deep right field. It is gone. A 3-run home run, Michael Martinez. His second this season, second Major League home run. The Phillies now lead 7-4.
He's not a bunter, he's a home run hitter. He gets that fastball right down the middle, and Qualls has just made some bad pitches this inning. Just hasn't been able to locate. You know, Martinez has had some opportune hits as of late. Had a few at Wrigley Field. That's a big one right there.
Still no outs. Strike one to Victorino. Qualls coming into this game, 1 home run allowed in 48 1/3 innings. 2 in this inning, and he has not yet recorded an out. All 7 Philly runs have scored via the home run. 12 pitches thrown by Qualls. He has allowed 4 home runs, 2 home runs. Howard on the first pitch of the inning as a pinch hitter. Martinez, a 3-run shot following the wild pitch, which took off the bunt sign. And don't forget about Ross Glode. His pinch double. Glode leads all of baseball with 13 pinch hits this season. Bounce to the second baseman Forsythe, finally one away. A wild last couple of innings here in Philadelphia.
It really has. I mean, you're talking about 8 runs scored in the last 2 innings. You know, the Padres, they get the momentum. They have some good things happen. And then Ryan Howard emerges from the batting cages and the clubhouse, and boom, one swing of the bat. There's the big man right there. And again, Charlie Manuel telling us there's anybody that can put a club on his back, and he's done it in the past, it's the Phillies' Ryan Howard. Maybe this is something that gets him going.
Anthony Bass in the San Diego pen. Chase Utley has reached base 3 times today. There's Antonio Bastardo up in the Phillies pen. Utley with a 3-run homer in the first. He walked in the 4th, singled in the 6th. Phillies with 7 runs on 8 hits, including 3 home runs.
Well, you look at it today. We've got 11 runs scored in the ball game, 10 via the home run.
Now 3-1 on Utley. Utley with a drive to right. second of the game for Chase Utley. And the third home run off Chad Qualls here in the 7th inning. 8-4 Phillies. That will be all for Chad Qualls. Faced 6 batters, retired 1, allowed 5 runs on 3 home runs, a double, a walk, and a wild pitch. Ryan Howard, first pitch from Qualls. Tied the game at 4. Then Michael Martinez, a 3-run shot. 2 batters later, second of the game, Chase Utley. Phillies with an 8-4 lead. 23-year-old right-hander Anthony Bass making his 5th appearance for the Padres this season. After Chad Qualls imploded here in the 7th. Chase Utley with his 2nd home run of the game after hitting only 1 in his last 110 at-bats. Howard, Martinez, and Utley going deep for the Phillies here in the 7th inning. The only home run allowed by Chad Qualls this season prior to this inning, Alfonso Soriano of the Cubs back on April 20th.
And it's quite a stretch. You know, the ball is jumping out of here today.
Ibanez one around. Now 2 away. Today's game here in Philadelphia presented by AT&T is sponsored by Michelin, a better way forward. By Rise of the Planet Apes, August 5th, we are the endangered species. And by Rogaine, men's Rogaine foam, use it or lose it. 2 away, here's Dominic Brown, 8th batter of the inning for the Phillies, who trailed 4-3 heading into this half inning. Ryan Howard led off with a pinch hit home run on the first pitch of the inning from Qualls. Ross Glode followed on the next pitch with a pinch double. Rollins walked. Michael Martinez a 3-run shot. Victorino grounded out. Utley a solo home run, and then the Ibanez strikeout. 5 runs on 4 hits for Charlie Manuel's Phillies, including 3 home runs. He gave Ryan Howard the day off. We spoke to Charlie prior to the game. Wanted Ryan to get some extra work in the batting cage, and it paid off.
Just to finish it off, all of that work the Phillies offense done against the best bullpen in Major League Baseball.
Brown fouls it back. 6th career pinch hit home run among his 13 career pinch hits. Not a bad ratio.
Shoot, better be careful making a pinch hitter.
5th hit of the inning for the Phillies. Brown around second, on his way to third, and he is out at third. So Dominic Brown trying to turn a double into a 3-base hit. The tag applied by Headley. Phillies score 5 in the inning, now lead 8-4. Pinch hit home run on his first swing of the bat. First pitch he saw, remains in the game at first base. And Antonio Bastardo out of the bullpen to make his 40th appearance. What a season it has been so far for Bastardo.
Oh, the numbers he's put up, as good as any reliever in the game. He's basically been unhittable. Probably could close for a lot of ball clubs, could close for this Philly ball club, just doesn't have the experience. Again, we talk about some of the injuries that the Phillies suffered. Well, this is the benefactor of those injuries, Antonio Bastardo.
So Bastardo in to pitch the 8th. Chase Headley will lead off. Headley hit a solo home run in the 6th inning, which tied the game at 3. It's Brad Lidge on the right, activated by the Phillies yesterday. They designated Danny Baez for assignment. Ryan Madsen returned last week. Phillies still without Jose Contreras. Madsen saved number 16 last night. First pitch from Bastardo to Headley. Bastardo missing away, ball one. Padres battled back from a 3-0 deficit, took a 4-3 lead with 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. But the floodgates open in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Phillies scored 5. Coming up tonight on Fox, Cops at 8, again at 8:30, Family Guy at 9, and then the Cleveland Show. That's tonight, right here on Fox. Dominic Brown, one away. Well, a big weekend up in Cooperstown, the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. And we congratulate the newest Hall of Famers, Pat Gillick, the Phillies senior advisor to the president and general manager, the architect of the Phillies World Championship squad back in 2008. Also the general manager in Toronto when the Blue Jays won a pair of titles back in the early 90s. Roberto Alomar. Bert Blyleven, who has worked a number of games with us at Fox over the last couple of years, will be inducted tomorrow as well. Base hit up the middle for Ludwig. Alomar, the 12-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove Award winner. Won 2 titles playing for Pat Gillick in Toronto. Bert Blyleven, 287 career victories. And how about the strikeout and shutout numbers?
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, remember, known for that big curveball. You look at the consistency he had over his career, the durability, definite Hall of Famer.
There's Kyle Blanks, who is 1 for 3 today. In case you're wondering why he wears number 88, well, he was born just outside Philadelphia, so perhaps he was an Eric Lindros fan. But in actuality, he wore 8 as a rookie. Then he gave it up to your Vitor Alba. Had to give up other numbers to veterans throughout his career. So he changed to number 88 to make sure that it did not happen again.
Smart man.
Rollins.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. That ball just comes off almost like the end of the bat. Very tough to pick up as a fielder. Looks like it almost has a knuckling action. Believe it or not, sometimes a ball comes off the bat. It will come off like a knuckleball. And while it's coming to you, it's literally bouncing in the air. Very difficult to stick with it. Not sure if that's what happened, but obviously that ball not just straight.
So Jimmy Rollins all smiles. With 2 away, here's Chris Denorfia. Along with Pat Gillick, Roberto Alomar, and Bert Blyleven, we also congratulate longtime columnist Bill Conlon of the Philadelphia Daily News. Marlins radio announcer Dave Van Horn, winner of the Ford Frick Award. And longtime baseball executive Roland Heeman, winner of the Buck O'Neil Lifetime Achievement Award. They will all be honored this weekend, throughout the weekend in Cooperstown as well. Denorfia with a base hit into right field, moving Ludwig over to second. You ever visited the Hall of Fame?
Excuse me?
Have you ever visited the Hall of Fame?
I have. I've been there a couple times when we had the opportunity to play the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame game. As we take a look at the all-time strikeout leaders in Major League Baseball. There he is, Bert Blyleven, number 5 on the all-time list. And a pleasure to work with. I worked a Twins game earlier this season on Fox with Bert.
Yeah, very friendly guy. Helps you out anytime you go in to do a Twins game. Whatever you need, he'll tell you.
Here's Logan Forsythe with 2 on, 2 out. Forsythe with 2 hits today.
They had that big triple in the 7th. Maben ended up driving in. That looked like that could be the difference for that Padre bullpen, which wasn't to be.
So what was it like playing at Doubleday Field?
Small, and we had a home run hitting contest. Played the Cleveland Indians. Had an opportunity to walk the Hall of Fame, see a lot of the displays. You know, I think the one thing that really struck me, and I remember Tim Wallach, who was a third baseman for us at the time, pointed out that these guys back in the 20s and 30s, some of the averages they had, the batting averages, well, the fielding gloves, I mean, they look like gardening gloves. I don't know how you could catch anything. Say, heck, I would have liked to hit during that era. So Bastardo just not as sharp as he's been, and you know a lot of it has to do with the fact it's an 8-4 ball game. You feel like this game's at hand, but one swing of the bat, you got a 1-run ball game.
Ball 4, says Alan Porter. So Forsythe heads down to first. The Padres have loaded the bases.
Hey, they're one swing away from tying this ball game.
Here comes pitching coach Rich Doobie out for a chat with Bastardo.
You know, it happens a lot of time to pitchers where, you know, they're getting ready to come into a game that is a 1 or 2 run ball game. The adrenaline's going, and then their team opens it up a bit. You start to become a little more lax. You know, but I remember Ron Washington, the manager of the Texas Rangers. He said to me, I don't care what the situation is. I don't care if it's a save situation or a hold or any of those sort of things. You know what that is when I bring you in? A winning situation. It's an opportunity to win a ball game.
Big opportunity here for Rob Johnson with the bases loaded. Ludwig on third. Denorfia out at second. And Forsythe over at first, chatting with first base coach Dave Roberts. 8-4 Phillies. 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning. First pitch to Rob Johnson. Fastball missing away. Ball 1. Johnson 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Off the glove of Schneider. Runners home. Two 2-0 on Johnson. Alberto Gonzalez has come out onto the on-deck circle should Johnson reach. One more look at that last pitch.
Well, this is a ball that Schneider would tell you he should have, but in his defense, you know, Bastardo just has been all over the place. You know, and as a catcher, you're putting up the target, you're reaching, and you're going for the ball out of the zone.
Two-0 from Bastardo in the dirt. Coming home to score is Ludwig. The other runners advance. It's now a 3-run ball game.
I mean, Bastardo right now just has no feel. Just can't find the plate. I mean, that's not even close. And I'm guessing that was probably a fastball. That's not anything on a 2-0 pitch. You're trying to trick him. Chase Utley just trying to calm him down. You watch the Padre runners all moving up.
3 balls, no strikes following the wild pitch. David Herndon up and throwing in the Phillies' pen. The 3-0 from Bastardo is low. Ball 4. Johnson walks. Bases once again are loaded for pinch hitter Alberto Gonzalez, who drove in the only Padres run last night.
You see Schneider going out to the mound, just trying to buy time for the bullpen to get ready. Charlie Manuel getting ready to make his move.
Here he comes. So that will be all for Bastardo, who has been tremendous this season, but not today.
The Phillies have a new pitcher. It is David Herndon, and to tell you a little bit more about him, let's send it back upstairs to Kenny Albert. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Chris. David Herndon making his 26th appearance, and he will face a pinch hitter, Kyle Phillips, the San Diego native, who you knew, Eric, as a youngster.
Oh, yeah, out in the East County, El Capitan. Brother Jason played in the big leagues for the Mets, the Dodgers. Kyle used to run around in the baseball camps I used to work.
And now pinch hitting with the bases loaded. Gonzalez was announced as a pinch hitter, and now Phillips batting for Gonzalez. Phillips hitting .181 this season, 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Denorfia on third, Forsythe at second, Johnson over at first. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Phillies with an 8-5 lead. The 0-1 from Herndon to Phillips, missing away. 1-1. Fans on their feet here in Philadelphia. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1 run here in the 8th for the Padres. Herndon delivers, fastball missing inside, 2-2.
Well, good pitch right there, but not a strike. Starts on the inner part. Comes back over, tries to catch the corner. Schneider tries to pull it in.
Cameron Maben with 3 runs batted in today, waiting on deck.
Hey, and that's a guy you don't want to face. The last thing you do here is walk this hitter. Got to let him hit it.
Nowhere to put Kyle Phillips. Payoff pitch from Herndon, and he fouls it off to the left side.
And Phillips doing a nice job of fouling off that pitch, earning another opportunity. As a hitter right now, you've got to know the situation. The situation is they don't want to face that guy on deck. Look for a fastball. Look for a strike.
Inside, ball 4. Phillips walks. Denorfia scores. It's now a 2-run ball game.
This is that pitch that he tried to get earlier, started at the left-hander's belt and have it come back towards the plate. Doesn't come back enough, clearly ball 4. It's 3 straight walks now issued by this Philly bullpen.
So the base is loaded for Cameron Maben. Corey Lupke, the starting pitcher last night for San Diego, out to pinch run for Kyle Phillips. Maben, the 8th Padre to bat this inning, has driven in 3 runs in his last 2 at-bats. Herndon to first. And the inning finally comes to an end. The Padres send 8 men to the plate. They score 2. It's now a 2-run ball game, middle of the 8th. Niagara and by sprint all together now. Round 1 in Philadelphia in the heat. Bottom of the 8th inning. Phillies leading the Padres 8-6. The 23-year-old left-hander from down under, Josh Spence, making his 16th appearance. Earned run average of 0.75. Pitched the 7th inning last night and struck out 2 Phillies.
Well, and you see the strikeout to walk ratio, outstanding. 16 strikeouts, only 3 walks.
And Spence will face a pinch hitter. Carlos Ruiz will bat for Ryan Schneider. Ruiz batting .263 this season. 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. A game to forget for the bullpens today.
Yeah, you know, and the Padres bullpen has been great. The Phillies is starting to really round into shape. Just surprising, because I don't think we would have guessed prior to today's game that the bullpens would get beat up like that. There he is, Ryan Madson. He's closing games out right now for this Philly ball club.
Ruiz with a drive, deep left field, off the wall. Throw to second, and Ruiz is in safely. Sixth extra base hit in the last 2 innings for the Phillies.
Well, Ruiz hustling right out of the box. See, Ludwig makes a nice throw, plays it off the wall well. Just gets in ahead of the tag.
Phillies have 11 hits in the game. 8 have gone for extra bases, including the pinch hit home run off the bat of Ryan Howard on the first pitch from Chad Qualls back in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Qualls allowing 3 home runs in an inning for the first time in his major league career. But it was not the first time this week that a team has hit 3 home runs in 1 inning off a pitcher. Arizona's Barry Enright allowed 3 first-inning home runs on Tuesday against Milwaukee to Corey Hart, Ryan Braun, and Iniesky Betancourt. Here today, Ryan Howard, Michael Martinez, and Chase Utley taking Qualls deep in the 7th. There's Ben Francisco in the on-deck circle.
Ryan Howard having a nice cut right there. Ryan Howard this year yet to hit a home run against a left-handed pitcher.
He hit 13 last year off lefties. 0-2 from Spence. Howard held up, now 1-2. We saw Francisco on deck. He is the last position player remaining for the Phillies.
Cold front's coming in. It's below 100.
Get your Parker ready. Right field corner off the bat of Ryan Howard. And a curves foul. Well, today's mini moment brought to you by Burger King and the all-new BK Burger and Chicken Minis. 7th inning, first pitch of the inning from Qualls. Ryan Howard off the bench. Pinch hit home run. His 19th of the season. Then Michael Martinez with a 3-run shot. And Chase Utley, 2 batters later, his 2nd of the game. 3 home runs in the inning in a span of 6 batters for the Phillies. Six extra base hits last time through the lineup for the Phillies. 3 home runs, 3 doubles. Big lead for Ruiz off second. The 1-2 from Spence. And Howard fights it off to stay alive.
Well, Howard doing a nice job battling. He was down 0-2, but has had some good healthy cuts, staying right in there.
Howard has fouled off 4 2-strike pitches from Spence. Marty Aronoff pointing out that since 2006, Howard hit 64 home runs off left-handers between 06 and 2010. And as you mentioned, none so far this season. 2-2.
And if you're Ryan Howard, what you tell yourself is, you know what, I'm due. I'm going to get hot. I'm going to run into some against a left-handed pitcher.
Another foul. Pitch number 10 of the at-bat from Josh Spence. Left center. Ludwig looking for it, couldn't find it momentarily. Makes the catch to retire Ryan Howard. Time now for a DirecTV game break. Once again downstairs to Chris Rose. Chris?
Kenny, Phillies fans with an extra reason to smile. That's because the Reds just disposed of the second-place Braves. Todd Frazier with the bases loaded. He clears them with the first 3 RBI of his career. Reds win at 11-2. Braves now trail the Phillies by 4.5 in the NL East. Back on upstairs to Kenny and EK.
Thanks, Chris. You remember Todd Frazier from the 1998 Little League World Series? Toms River, New Jersey. He was one of the stars as they won it all. He was the winning pitcher in the final game, went 4 for 4 with a home run. Grew up in New Jersey and attended Rutgers University. Big day today for the Cincinnati Reds, 13 years later. Then Francisco pinch hitting for David Herndon. So thanks to Todd Frazier and the Reds, they beat the Braves 11-2. The Braves fall 4.5 behind the Phillies, who hope to pick up another half game very shortly.
Remember Ben Francisco starting off the season as the everyday outfielder. Dominic Brown on the disabled list. Did a nice job at the beginning, but as of late, he's had his playing time limited.
Pinch hitting for the pitcher Herndon with 1 out. Ruiz a leadoff double. Howard fly to left. And now the 1-2 to Francisco. Right field. Denorfia on the warning track makes the catch as Ruiz easily advances.
See, Denorfia does a nice job of knowing where he is in relation to the wall. Keeps his eye on it.
Well, here's Jimmy Rollins. Got things started for the Phillies back in the first inning with a leadoff double. Came around to score on Utley's first home run. And Rollins has also made some terrific plays in the field. He will be intentionally walked with Michael Martinez waiting on deck. Martinez in his last at bat is unsuccessful as far as laying down a couple of bunts, but then following a wild pitch, swung away and hit a 3-run home run, which gave the Phillies a 7-4 lead.
Well, it was that wild pitch because even down 0-2, he was squared around a bunt. Walls delivered a wild pitch, runners advanced. So then he becomes a hitter. Next shot, next pitch, 3-run shot.
Martinez has now driven in 15 runs in his last 13 games. There's Howard, who tied the score at 4. And Utley, who has hit 2 home runs today. Martinez hit his first Major League home run last Sunday against the New York Mets. A 3-run shot of the 7th off Chad Qualls today. First and third, 2 outs. Martinez facing the left-hander from Australia, Josh Spence. Swings at the first pitch, just foul. Looking ahead, in the top of the ninth inning. Padres will have Jason Bartlett, Chase Headley, and Ryan Ludwig due up. Padres stranded, the bases loaded in the eighth. Rollins goes. No throw from Johnson with a runner on third.
Well, and you really can't concern yourself if you're the Padres with Rollins running to second. You've got an opportunity to go after the hitter. Michael Martinez, again, while he's had some big hits, not a guy that has been a consistent threat.
Save situation for Ryan Madsen at this point. With the Phillies leading by 2. They hope to add to that lead. Johnson out for a chat with Spence. Martinez strikes out. We head to the ninth in Philadelphia with the Phillies leading by 2. That helps accelerate treatment to patients. Stand up for someone you love, visit standuptocancer.org/Fox Sports to learn more. Top of the ninth here in Philadelphia. Ryan Madsen earned his 16th save and 17 opportunities last night. Comes on with the Phillies leading the Padres 8-6. Madsen will face Jason Bartlett, Chase Headley, and Ryan Ludwig with a 2-run lead. Carlos Ruiz now catching. Remains in the game after pinch hitting for Brian Schneider. First pitch to Bartlett. Utley, Howard. Utley's got it. One away. One pitch, one down for Ryan Madsen, making his 36th appearance.
Well, and you see the 16 saves and 17 opportunities. Chooch behind the plate, Carlos Ruiz. But Madsen has really emerged as a guy that the Phillies feel comfortable with taking that ball to close out a game. He's got the stuff. He's got the experience. Now he gets the opportunity.
Here's Chase Headley, homered back in the 6th inning, tying the game at 3. Great job by our entire crew today here in Philadelphia, led by producer Pete Macheska, director Bill Webb, associate director Aaron Stoikoff, associate producer Eric Mandia, our broadcast associate Chase Weber, technical director Jonathan Evans, technical manager Sid Drexler. Pre-game show produced by Don Bowie. Thanks to Marty Aronoff in the booth, crunching the numbers along with Wayne Fiddleman, Jordan Harrison, and Joe Bann. The 1-1 to Headley, fouled off to the left side, now 1-2.
Madsen doing a nice job, not messing around. We looked at that previous inning. Phillies pitchers had 3 consecutive walks. Madsen just going right after the hitters.
Headley flied out against Madsen last night. Takes the fastball inside, 93 miles per hour from Madsen, now 2-2. Phillies looking to win their Major League leading 63rd game. Their 4th in a row. And their 9th straight over the Padres over the last 2 seasons. Padres had won 3 in a row before losing here last night. Headley down on strikes. Phillies 1 out away. Phillies led 3-0 on the Utley 3-run homer in the first. Padres tied it with 3 in the 6th. Padres took a 4-3 lead, top of the 7th inning. Phillies would then homer 3 times off Chad Qualls in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Ludwig, 1 for 4, singled his last time up in the 8th. And he drills this one to deep left field, off the glove of the left fielder Ibanez. Ludwig in at second, and that will bring the potential tying run to the plate. Ibanez got the glove up, but unable to make the catch. So now Kyle Blanks will step in, looking to keep this game alive. Blanks 1 for 4, singled back in the 6th inning. Nothing in 1. Blanks has power, hit 10 home runs and 148 at bats 2 seasons ago before undergoing Tommy John surgery last year. Two outs, top of the 9th inning. And now the Phillies 1 strike away. "100 degrees at game time, over 45,000 in attendance. They rise in unison as Madsen delivers the 0-2. 1-2 to Blanks, and he drills it foul down the left field line. Blanks called up yesterday. A combined 15 home runs, 62 runs batted in with San Antonio and Tucson in the minor leagues. 0 for 1 last night, 1 for 4 today. Looking to keep this game alive for the Padres. Ludwig takes his lead off second. The 1-2 from Madsen, a swing and a miss. And the ball game is over. Save number 17 for Ryan Madsen. Phillies win their 4th in a row as they defeat the Padres by the score of 8-6. Michael Stutz the win. Chad Qualls the loss, allowed 3 home runs in the 7th. Madsen save number 17. We'll return to Philadelphia after these messages from your local Fox station.